Military Standard Handbook, Military Handbook 210A, Conversion Factors and Logistics Data for Petroleum Planning. Once again, Military Standards Handbook, Conversion Factors for Logistic Data of Petroleum Planning, Military Handbook 210A PDF. The Department of Defense, Washington, Conversion Factors, Logistics Data for Petroleum Planning, the Standardization Handbook developed by the Department of the Navy and the Navy Facility Engineering Command in accordance to established procedures. Publication approved on April 16, 1979, and the printing and inclusion of Military Standard Handbook Series. The document provides compilation commonly used conversion factors and characteristics of petroleum products. It will be provided valuable information guides to personnel concerned with petroleum planning. The handbook is not intended in reference to purchase specification except for informational purpose, nor shall it be superseded in specific requirements. Every effort has been made for reflecting last information and conversion factors and logistic data of petroleum planning. Handbooks will be reviewed periodically, intermediate, and ensure the completeness, accuracy, user documentation, encourage the report and errors uncovered, and recommendations of changes and inclusions. Commander Officer Code 156, Naval Construction Battalion Center, Report, Ham, California 930043. The foreword of this book. The foreword is the completion of commonly used data of the petroleum characteristics facilitate work on individual requiring information proposed overall general planning. It has no intent of supplement publications of detailed technical significant nature such as laboratory engineering officers rather than consolidating one pamphlet of those items infrequently found in the scattered technical literature. The handbook, the Military Standards Handbook 210-1, was dated in July 1964. The continents include capacity of vertical cylinder storage tanks, vertical cylinder metric. The capacity of vertical storage tanks metric, crude oil, a petroleum product, factors at 65 degrees Fahrenheit, filtration to data, seizes, sizes, gravity, conversations, degrees, API gravity and specific gravity, group number of AP gravity ranges, heavy value solid fuels, heavy heat value of liquid fuels, packaging, time, table of API gravity equivalents, temperature conversion charts, temperature correction chart, roughly calculation, transportation pipeline dimension data, capacity of standard military lightweight steel pipelines, tankers, and tankers cargo data, units of measure, area flow, length of volume, weights, and pressure viscosity, parts 31. Part 2, graphic charts and diagrams, pipeline pressure required to pump aviation, gasoline, Navy, special diesel fuel, determination of a drum content, determination of tank capacity. Capacity of the cylinders is printed in volume per foot. The 1 foot mark is started at the U.S. gallon of 5/8 and 1 foot in diameter is 5/8. The capacity of vertical cylinder volume per foot. And then the capacity of vertical storage dimensions, capacity dimensions, and capacity of vertical storage tanks. Capacity of vertical storage tanks continued. The capacity of vertical cylinder metric volume per meter. It's best to print these out, and I'll take some still shots of them. Capacity of vertical storage metric dimensions, which is 75%. Vertical storage tank metric dimensions in meters and kiloliters. And then crude oil and petroleum product factors at 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Crude oil and petroleum product factors at 60 degrees Fahrenheit continued. And again. filtration data measures per inches U.S. sieves number open in inches opening in microns. The schematic comparisons of micron sizes. 74 micron particles number 200 sieve. The number 400 sieve is 37 micron particles, and this is screening fuel. Gravity conversion to Greece's AP gravity is equal to the amount of 141.5 under the specific gravity of 60 by 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 60 to 60 by 60 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 13.15. The specific gravity of 60 degrees by 60 degrees Fahrenheit is over 141.5 over 13.1.5 degrees API, or the group of numbers for API gravity range. The group number 1 through 7, or 0 through 7, in the range of gravity at 60 degrees Fahrenheit. The coefficient of the expansion of per at the 60 degree Fahrenheit, the correspondence of API gravity. Now, heating the value of the solid fuels, they usually range from the BTUs as per fuel pounds short ton and kilojoule per kilogram. And they are an antichromatic and anthracated bituminous, submittimus, and lignite fuels. Heating value of liquid fuels: the fuel, the aviation gas, the automobile gas, the combat motor gasoline, the aviation turbine fuels, the diesel fuel oils. The average API gravity, the specific gravity, the gross BTUs per pound and gallon and network, or net BTUs in pounds and gallons, kilojoules and per kilograms and grams and net. Continued, or heating valve liquid fuels continued. As in the fuel is in burner fuels grades 1 through 6. The average API gravity, the specific gravity, the gross BTU per pound or gallon, the NBTUs pound or net pound or gallon, the kilojoule per kilograms gross and net. Packaging containers. The length and width of inches, height in cubic feet, and weight in empty pounds. The 55 U.S. gallon drum 16 by 18 gauge, the 55 U.S. gallon cans of gasoline, the 6.5 quart cans of oil, the 24.1 cans of oil, the 48 by 1 pound cans of grease, the 12.5 pounds of cans of grease, the 35 pounds of pails of grease, tightly headed 25 gauges, tightening head 22 gauges, lug covered 24 gauge, lug covered 22 gauge, lug covered 24 gauge, but with 20 gauge coverage, and 120 drum greases, lug coverage of gauge. Calculation of weight filled in containers and weight of the empty container weight per gallon of the prototype number of gallons. The package procedures: production out of aviation motor gasoline, jet fuels, kerosene, diesel fuels, lubricating oils, and grease. The packaging of 55 gallon drums and 5 gallon cans, except for the grease and the lubrication oils of 1 quart. The lubrication of 1 quart can be the 24 per case and 5 quarts per 5 quarts per case. The grease is 35 pounds pails and 5 pound cans, or 12 per case. They shorten ton packaging per the long ton and the measurement ton double dotted. The capacity of vertical for carrying filled containers of a half ton to 1.5 tons of. Military Handbook 210A about 19 pages into it. There's a whole bunch of charts here for looking at loading data and cargo of tanker cars and petroleum. Now, package procedures. The product aviation gallons we went over in their package per short ton, long ton, measurement ton, front 1.5 ton, TR, track ton. Their packaging, and based upon the authorized loads in short tons, when overall authorized, these may be increased. These may be increased. They may be authorized. These quantitatives may be increased to the cubic capacity of the vehicles or of the 100% overloaded, whichever limit reached the first. Measurement not ton. Measured ton or ship ton is 40 cubic feet. The table of AP gravity equivalents at 60 feet. The points AP gravity goes from 1 through 30 in a water H2O of 60 degree Fahrenheit at AP gravity 10. Specific gravities in U.S. gallons, pounds per imperial gallon, barrels per long and tongue, and metric ton, short ton, BTU, grosses, pound net, and kilojoules over kilograms of gas or gross and net. Then it repeats on to 31 through 60 AP gravities and 60 to 94 AP gravities. And then it goes to a temperature conversion chart with a Celsius 5 ninths and 5 degrees minus 32 degrees Fahrenheit. The great or 32 Fahrenheit minus 30 degrees is times 5.9 gives you the degrees in Celsius. 0 degrees Celsius is 273.6 degrees Kelvin. And a Fahrenheit 9/5 of Celsius plus 32 is equal to the Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 of Celsius plus 32. 0 degrees Fahrenheit is at 4 or is equal to 459.68 degrees or is that the temperature control rough calculations, changing the volume per degree and over under 60 degree volume Fahrenheit. Heavy crude oils up to 15 degree API, residual asphalts, medium crude, Navy special loads, nude crudes, jet fuel, cleaning solvent, kerosene, distillated fuel, engine oil clogs, fog oils, motor gasoline, naphthas, other cleaning solvents, aviation gasolines. And for example, the volume changes refer to the ASTM D125 of the American Society of Testing Materials, the IPT Institute of Petroleum, IP2-200 of the Institution of Petroleum. The transportation pipeline dimensions data. The plain pipe is normal from 4 to 24 outside and inside diameter inches, and walking in thicknesses and weight pounds per foot, and volume in barrels per minute per m or per mile or feet. Capacities of standard military lightweight steel pipe, normal sizes in inches from 4 to 12 inches. The normal BL or BB at 1 hour. The feet per second, and emergency barrel bulk load is hour, and working pressure, safety, and maximum PSIs. Transportation tankers. Unit of a volume weight used in a tanker shipping. The barrels are 42 gallons by equal to 56 degrees cubic feet and 0.59 cubic meters. The long ton of 2,200. We'll give it a second in the Military Handbook 2010. Military Handbook 210. The transportation tankers unit is volume used in tank shipping in barrel 42, 56 and a half, 16 cubic feet and 159 cubic meters. The long ton and 240 pounds is equal to 116 kilograms. The dead weight tons, the total carrying capacity of the tanker expressed in tons of 224 and petroleum tanker and data analysis. 2,000 deadweight tons. Total carrying capacity of a tanker expressed in tons is 2,240 pounds. The cargo deadweight tons. Total deadweight ton minus the weight of the fuel, water, stores, crews, other than items necessary for the voyage. And measuring tons cargo capacity expressed in bales units and 4 cubic feet per ton. The weight factor used in the MSC billing procedure purposes. All Navy lube special, all lube oils, all Navy special fuel oils, diesel fuels, jet fuels, JPJ, Ford kerosene, gasoline, motor, and aviation. The units that measure the barrel ton and the barrel metric ton are used for the MSC billing purposes. Voyage turnaround item. The period of time required for a tanker to make one complete round trip to the load port and its discharge port. The tanker requirement. Determine number of the TE. Determine the number of TE-SE-1A tanker equivalents are required to given the task of the following formula. The X equals TQ over C, where X is the number is TE-SE1A1 equivalents required. The T is the peace time required for one complete round trip and 14 knots plus 2 days of loading and 2 days of unloading plus 13% cycle time. T wartime, the time required for one complete round trip for 14 knots plus 2 days of loading and 4 days for unloading and delaying and reports plus 13 cycle units. Quality Q is a quantity required for per day in long tons. C is a 15,500 ton estimated cargo dead weight tons of T2 as equals to SEA1 tankers. The USAMC tanker data sheet starts out at the type of TIMBT2 TE2SEI T2SEAI T5S12A T5SRM2A Seal Lift class, Columbus class. The speed knots, the dead light tonnage, the tanker equivalents of T2SEA1 freeboard draft loaded payload cargo and barrels at designated draft motor, diesel, and jet. Tanker data. 1. The variables indicated from the draft from the turbulation, summer load line drafts. The U.S. Navy tankers 95% of loaded to provide of expansion of all other 98% loaded. Use of 100 psi planning purposes. Use of Navy design tanker over 75 dead weight are used primarily for movement of crude oil. Design of the tanker: the AO 222, the AO 51, the AO 143, the AO R1, AO E1, the T2M BT2, T2SE A1, T5S12A, T5S REM2A. The C lift class is the Colombian class, and Montecillo, the Victoria class, the CIO interpreted class, the RCPO anchors and class, the T107-101B. The deadweight tons of 1,000 tons, the draft fully loaded, one load, the cargo capacity pounds to the BBLS's, the number of cargo tanks. Tanker data. as we just went over, and units of measure of area. To convert acres to square feet, square yards, square miles, and square meters and hectares, multiply acres square feet by 43 by 560. Um, Square yards are 484. The square mile is 0.015625 in an acre. Square meters are 4,046 and 873. The hectares are 0.40687. Hectares are square yards of 11,590.885. Acres are 2,000 or acres. There are two acres in a hectare, and 2.5 acres in a hectare. The square miles is about 0.003861 in a hectare. The square meters are 10,000. The square kilometers 0.01. The square feet are 100,600 feet. Square centimeters, square feet is 0.001076. The square inches 0.1550. Square meter 0-1/10,000. Square miles 38.861 by 10,000 and 6. The power of -11. Square millimeters 100. Square yards 0.009196. The square feet of an acre is 0.00296, and the square centimeters 92906. The square feet in an acre, square feet to acres. The square meters is 0.9290. Square inches is 14000. The square yards 0.111 repeated. Square miles 3.5278 by 10 negative power 9. The square millimeters 9 to 9 square by power 4 5 tenth. I don't know if you give the tenth, it's 1 degree of the other. The centimeter 6.425. The square feet 0.649. The millimeters 6.425. 0.0716 kilo square yards. Acre square centimeters, square feet, square inches, square meters, square miles, square yards. Acre is 2.41 kilometers. The square centimeters is 10 to the 10th power. The square feet is 10.76 to the 10.6 to the 10 to the 7th power. The square inches is 1.5.50 to the 10 to the 10th power. The square meters are 10 to the 6th, and square miles is 0.38.61, 1.6 of 10 feet. Square meters, and goes on to yards. And the flow of BBL a day, the gallon hour, the gallon a minute, 1.7, 0.2.94. The BBL hour, the cubic feet in minute is 0.936. The gallon minute of 0.7. Gallon hour, cubic feet H hour 1370. Cubic feet minute 0.0228. The gallon minute 0.01666. Repeated to 7. Remainder gallon minimum BLD, BL hour, BL minimum, cubic feet day, cubic feet minute, gallon day, later second, cubic feet second, 34 to 2 gallon a minute, and BBDL. Well, anyways, there's the charts as you roll over them. Unit measurement of continued flow in all cases. Length, barrels in U.S. gallons are 42 cubic inches, 9,002 inches, and cubic feet 5.6.4. Imperial gallons 34.962. Liters 518.984. Cubic liters are 16th, 10th, 16th. The measurement continued volumes. These are conversion tables. This whole military handbook 210 is a conversion table for the petroleum data logistic analysis or output. We went over mass pounds per meter per pound. This viscosity conversion table. Viscosity conversion tables. The following table will be a comparison of the viscosity rating of if the viscosity is given in terms other than symbolic, Sable universal transability quality by following the horizontal to Sable universal column. The SSU, the CUS is the approximate second Max Michaels, the approximate Gardner hot hole bolt, cup 1, cup 2, cup 3, cup 4, second Zelon, second diameter, the approximate approximate seconds of seconds Pratt Stonemeyer 100 gram loaded in Pratt and Lambert Fahrenheit or F. Continued, and it goes on the bottom. It says the second Sable University kinematic viscosity in Stokes absolute is equal to the absolute viscosity in the center poles and specific gravities above 250 and 250 SUs, and the use of following approximately conversions of the SU concentric CS's and 462s above the range of this table, and which the range of the viscosity multi their rating by the following factors to convert the SSUs. Viscosity over the Max Michel Delminer number 1, the factor of 1.92, approximately 1.6, and the viscosity meter of Delminer number 10 of Stormer, and the factor of 14613 approximated. Pipelines pressured required the petroleum product throughout the pipelines over level ground. Correct factor of friction losses of 140 covers plotted in a 7-foot sector velocity. The Engineer Research Development Laboratory Cameron hydraulic data. Aviation gasoline gravity of 070, APA gravity of 706, 06 kinematic viscosity 10 centistrokes. On the BBL per hour and the BB pressure per mile of the pipe. The Naval Special Pacific gravity is 0946, the AP gravity at 18 degrees of the BBL hour, PI pressure per mile for a pipe. The diesel fuel special gravity is 0.8498, the API gravity is 35 degrees at the BL hour, and the PSPI per pipe, male pipe. The gauging of a 50-gallon drum, approximately dip an ordinary yardstick into the drum, get a weight inch in reading, and approximately number the horizontal axis 3 set card charters and value in gallons from the vertical axis. The value of these charts are obtained at a 60 degrees Fahrenheit measurement higher than lower temperatures, and factor above 0.6% decreases in value in 0 degree. The vertical drum, the horizontal drum, and the gallons and wet inches and gallons and wet inches produce a permission of Ubin Carbide Corporation. Tank capacity diagram approximately values of the diameter and in fact the capacity of the barrels, the diameter in feet, the capacity in gallons, the capacity of barrels, and the height in feet, and the height in the feet. Use in large, small tanks, and use for small tanks and use for large tanks. Permission over the Graver tank and the FMG Corps. Custodians of the Army. This military handbook pre-activity, the Navy Yard. Project number 9130, number is 811. These are activities in Navy, Army activities, and the Commander, Naval Officer, Command of the Stovall, Virginia, Commanding Officer, Naval Construction Battalion Center of Port Numa, California, and Standard Improvement Sheet, and then a military conversion